So, okay. let's start this off. So handle sessions. That's the documentation that we want to write. Just sort myself out. Sorry. Right. So lesson 9. Here we go. Right. So it's pretty empty. What I'm going to do is just recap lesson 8 very quickly. Hang on a minute. Lesson 7, lesson 8. Hold on. I thought we were on lesson 9, but it looks like we need to do lesson 8. That's a shame. Populate secure area with user text. Oh, right. Yes. No, I remember. Last time we did lesson 7, didn't we? So yeah, I'm thinking a lesson ahead. So yeah, no, it is lesson 8. Populate secure area with user data. And I actually created the lesson notes or the lesson steps last time. So get a user order, display the username, display the order items, and then alternate the order item table row colors. Okay, we can do that. I did think we were on the next one, but we're not, unfortunately. Never mind. Right, so the dashboard, that is the secure area. And what we would like to do is, I'm going to just bring, that's done. So it's lesson 8. We're not worrying about that. I'm going to just put lesson 8 in a sort of split view, split right. And then we're going to take a look at the dashboard, take a look at the code. So get a user order is the first thing we need to do, which is that. And then display the username to here. So this is the first thing we need to do. Username equals get username. Do we have that in our do we have that from lesson 7? I don't think we do. We got get orders. We've got, no, I don't think we have. So what I need to do is create this function get username. Get username takes the user key. Okay, this is going to require the session, right? Because that's the user key, that's the session. So, and we want to do that in lesson 9, handling the session. So maybe in this instance we hard code that. Maybe in this instance we just hard code the username. We've got get orders, so that can be done. So we hard code the username for this lesson, and then we retrieve the orders and we loop through. Okay, that's probably a simpler way to work through, because then in the next lesson, when we get to lesson 9, I can deal with talking about the sessions. I think that's probably the better way forward, I think. All right, okay. Apologies that if this seems a little scrappy today. Okay, so what we need to do, get rid of lesson 9, lesson 8. So, get a user order. All right, so the way I do this is I create like, actually I best go and have a, just double check. The way I do this is I create a link to the particular, yes, to the particular thing under lesson notes. I was just looking at checking the format. All right, so lesson 8 then, get a user order. There we go. Let's put that into brackets. Get a user order. That is the title of this. So that will be lesson 8 hash get a user order. Okay, cool. So in order to get the order, we need to call this get orders function, and we need to pass in a username. And for this, what we're going to do is just hard code the username. So to get a user's order, excuse me, that's Murphy that's just come into the room. Let me just bear with me a minute. I just kick the dog out. Bear with. Yeah, buddy. Off you go. Okay, Murphy has not left the office, so he might jump up in a minute. So bear with. You may see a dog in the background. One of the things when I stream is he'll hear my voice and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna seek him out." So cute. But it gets awfully hot in here with all the lights, so he will eventually leave. But he's just laying by my feet or behind me. Anyway, okay, so get a user's order. This should be called get a user's order. To get a user's order, the get, this needs to be in backticks. The get orders function needs to be called with a username. Sure, full stop. Then what we're going to do is, so to do this, add the following to the dashboard.php. Too many things in here. Okay, add to do this, comma, add the following to the dashboard, to dashboard.php. We'll put that in backticks as well. Good. So then we put in our little code. Right, I'll also say for now, so maybe not. In this example, we will hard code in this lesson, we will hard code the username, and in later lessons, in future lessons, this username will be dynamically set to the username of the logged in user. There we go. Okay. To do this, add the following in the dashboard.php. So we need to do basically that, really. So username, and we're going to just do a username that we are aware of. So and I just need to double check how that works. So username is the user, isn't it? So if we go over to config, user config, the user, so there we go. That's what we'll do. That becomes the username. Is that right? Is that correct? Get users, passing in the username. User, order, as order, user. Oh, it's order config. Forgive me. There we go. Yes, there we go. Right. So it can be that one or that one. So we'll put in the first one for now. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Where's my lesson gone? Oh, is it? It's here. There we go. Boom. Right, to do this, add the following to dashboard.php. Username is you, and then orders is equal to this. Okay, so that will return us an array of orders. So if we go back to here, that's what we've got. Okay. Next, get the order items. Let's not. Okay, so each order will have order items. To get the order items, add the following to dashboard.php. Right. Groovy. Okay, so now we're gonna just put that in. Da 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 da. Right, so it's that, but this is where I can say, there we go. We'll have each order will have order items. We'll have a set of order items. These order items are held in the items element of the order array. There we go. Okay, so to get the order items, add the following to the dashboard.php. Okay, so items is equal to order items. Okay, fine. But the problem there is that we're not defaulting it to a blank array if nothing's being found. There's going to be a PHP stan error, which I will have to cover. Okay. Cool. Right, so that's get a user's order. Get a user's, I have to put an ES there, get a user's order. Okay, so then we've got display the username, and then we've got display the order items. So, okay. Orders, how do we get the username? Oh, right, we're displaying the username, which is hard-coded, and in this case it's dynamic. Okay, that's fine. That's quite a simple one to, I should stop saying simple. That is a straightforward lesson 8. Oh, I haven't actually created it yet. Silly me, sorry. So what's it called? Display the username. Display the user name. So what I'm going to do for those who've just joined and they're wondering what on earth I'm doing, this is the course notes for this particular course that I'm doing, this PHP course, and I'm going to be using the notes as a means for me to basically it's like almost like a script. I won't be doing it word by word for word, but when I'm doing recording the video, this is what I'm going to be sort of using as a sort of a dare I say a script guidance. And also the course will come with these. There's going to be one for every lesson, and we think about 10 lessons in this particular course. Each lesson will have its own video, so there's 10 videos in this course, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. So we're nearly there. We've got this one to do, and then I think we've got 2 others to do, and then we're good. So if I can get this one down today, that'd be awesome. So to display the username, update the do we already have a header element? So this is where I have to keep jumping back and forth because I need to remember what I've already discussed in the lessons. I think this was lesson 3, which we did the build the secure area. Yeah, build the secure area. So what did we end up with? We ended up with this. Okay, so no, we don't have the header element yet. So this will need to go just below the main, just below the table. So just below the table. Is it underneath the table? Yes, it is. Okay. Because what we'll also do is style it up. On lesson 3, we haven't done that already. Lesson 4, style the login for. Lesson 5, style the secure. Okay, maybe we have. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh yeah, we got a header there. Do we have the open main? Style the element. Okay, add the following to the dashboard.php. Yes, so we do have header and header. Maybe I need to adjust this. See, this is where so this is the first pass of this documentation, where I just create the documentation. And then there's 2 other passes after this, where I'll be rebuilding this whole project on a Ubuntu machine and a Windows machine. And during those phases, I'm going to be tweaking and adjusting it and stuff. So, I mean, I've just found something here. I need to adjust. That needs to be in main. I've got a feeling I need to actually style the tabled elements. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of work on lesson 5, because the dashboard now has this main element underneath. So, yeah, okay, let me just quickly revise lesson 5 a minute. So, styling the secure area. Add the following to the dashboard. We will, what's that? We will be updating the username dynamically later. Okay, that's what we're doing now. But that's styling that. How am I going to talk about putting in the main element? Main element here. It goes underneath the header. I mean, I suppose I could just do that, right? So we could just underneath that one. Underneath the add username to the secure area, we could do something like get the saxophone out. We could do whoops, and there's Murphy. Bear with me a minute. He's wanting to go outside. Right. Sorry, everyone, for that. He's fine. He got, like I said, it's really warm in this office. Da 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 da. Yes. This spammer is annoying, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. Yeah. Boom. Okay. So we need to adjust or add a main element to the HTML. We'll also add a main element to the HTML. The dashboard.php should now look like this. So HTML, boom. Okay, so that should now look like dashboard. Pretty much all this, apart from the PHP, of course. Lesson 5. Right, so we've done the header. We've added in the welcome bit, so we'll copy that. Whoops, that's the main. And then we've got to deal with this here. So that was done in lesson 3, I think. Yeah, so we'll just grab that table and we'll stick it in there. Just there we go. That's better. That's better. So what I'm trying to do is now at lesson 8, the student will be at this stage of the game. So style the username, style the table elements. Done. So lesson 8 then, going back to lesson 8, let's open that up. Each order will have a set of items. These order items are held in the items element of the order array. To get the order items, add the following to dashboard.php, site order items. Display the username. To display the username, update the HTML in dashboard.php and replace the hard-coded username in dashboard.php with the value of username. We've got that right. Yeah. Like so. PHP. Don't know why it goes straight to regex. Regex. It's annoying. So we want to replace that. Cool. Do we have a logout on lessons 5? No. So I'm not going to put that in. That's for the next lesson. That's for session stuff. So I will remove that. Cool. Okay. So where are we up with this? Display the username. We now, oh yeah, let's put in a hash. So display lesson 8. Come on. Get a user's order. Why can't you find it? Display. Okay, fine. Cool. Okay, so the next one is to display the order items. Fine. Display the order items. Okay, so we essentially need to replace all of this with this, which is gonna get a little bit complicated because is the next one to alternate the colors. Yeah, okay, so we don't need to worry about the colors, so we don't need to worry about the counter, which means that we don't need to worry about the row class suffix, so we don't need to worry about that. Right. So okay, replace the hard-coded order items in the table in the dashboard.php table with those from items. Okay, so we'll grab the whole table. 1, 2, 3, PHP, paste that in. Oops. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Right. Move that back a wee bit. Okay, so let's put that back in line. So we don't need the counter. Let's get rid of all the things that we don't need. We don't need the counter. We don't need this actually. So that can go there. That can go up to there. We definitely don't need this. And we don't need a class. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just sort of printing out, echoing to the page, this. And for each. tr. Okay, let's format that a bit better. Whoops. No, not that page. That's better. Okay, so replace the hard-coded order items table with those from items. Each item will need its own row in the table. Create a for each loop. In the T body. Whoops, there we go. That prints out how many cells? 1, 2, 3. 3 cells. That prints out 3 table cells. That hold the items. What are we looking at here? We're looking at name, price, and date ordered. All right. Obviously, when I do this and record this this lesson, or all the lessons, I will talk about this in greater detail and actually do the code on the screen. So, you know, I'll explain what all this does. Okay, so do. Right, so the next stage is sorry. The next stage will be, well, let me just tighten that up a bit. So lesson 8 hash display order items, there we go, is to alternate the order item table row colors. That's what we're going to do next. Okay. Are we going to do that next? No. We need to run PHP stan, find the error. Yeah, so in this case, I need to get the actual error back, so I'm going to have to hack the course lessons at the minute to run the PHP stan to get the error, to then print the error onto the page. All right, so run, make tests. Is it test or test? We'll find out in a minute. run make tests, and you should get the following error. Right, so what I need to do on first things first, let's get into our terminal. Just do it through there, that's fine. Let's do make tests at the minute, or is it make test? No, I need to go into no, it is there, isn't it? Yeah, we got the make file here. Make test. Is that it? Yeah, make test. Is that it? Make test. Make test. Make test. Cool. All right, so everything's passed. So let's go and break it. So to do that, we just remove that. There we go. Boom. We got an error. So offset. So I need to copy all of that. Whoa. Come on, a little higher. Not that high. That'll do. We need to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. It's a stan error, isn't it? Remove that to code. Okay. One error found. Okay. So this error is due to, and I've just remembered, I started this stream with a warm tea. This is going to be very cold. It's a herbal tea, so that's fine. This error is due to, let's get the language right. Due to the missing offset items in the variable items. Okay, we know that this is an array. However, it technically could be null. And what we should do is explain could be null as the username, as the user may not exist, or the user may not have any orders. Okay. Okay, so to fix this, we need to set a default. Can't spell. Default. I can spell. Can't spell. Default. Value for items, which will be a empty array. An empty array. Cool. Hey MS, thanks for joining. So how do you link HTML with a PHP's document? So that is a very good question. One that I struggled with when I started doing this is how do you get PHP inside HTML? PHP, when it was first built, was a templating engine for HTML. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. One is to echo out the variable. So you're in PHP here. You're in HTML here. So you've got your HTML tags. That's an open P tag, paragraph tag. And then straight within the element, or within the value, I should say, of that element, you can then do an open PHP tag. You can use echo, you can use print, you can use printf, or sprint, I think they call it. And then you can pass in the variable. So that's going to echo out whatever value is in that variable. You need to put in a semicolon, and then you need to close PHP off, and then you go straight back into HTML. Same with this. So this is where I'm opening up PHP tag. I am then I'm then creating a counter of 0. So that's setting an integer of 0 to counter, and then I'm looping through the items that we've already established up here. So that's a loop. So for each items as item, this means that this is an array of items, which means that now I have an item variable, and whatever is assigned to that element is in item. I'm then incrementing the counter, so that's counter plus plus. So for every item, counter increases by 1. So plus plus, we're incrementing that by 1. And then don't worry too much about that. I'll explain in a second. That's dealing with odd and even rows. But this is how we would print out or echo out an array element to the HTML. So we're in HTML here, and now we've closed PHP, so that was all PHP there. We're now in HTML world. We then open up PHP and we print that out to this section, the internals of the table cell element. And then we close PHP and we're in HTML again. So essentially what this is doing is it's creating a table row for every item, and we're printing that out to the page 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Closing TR. Then we're closing the loop, PHP, and then we are back into the HTML world. So that's how you do it. Hope that explains it well. No worries, Jay. Appreciate it. No worries. No worries. So where am I at with this? So to fix this, we need to set a default value for items, which will be an empty array, which will default to an empty array. All right, so adjust the items variable assignment to use the null, I can never spell this, coalescing operator. Coalescing. It's coalescing. Coalescing. I am gonna have to look that up. I can never spell this. I'm dyslexic, so that's my excuse. Coalescing. Or is it a null safe operator? Oh, hang on a minute. No, this is a null. No. It's a coalescing operator, isn't it? It's not a null safe. Hang on. Coalescing operator. It's been a long day. It is a coalescing operator. A nullish coalescing operator is what I'm doing. A nullish. Right. So, here, adjust the items variable. Again, I can't spell variable. Adjust the items variable assignment to use the nullish coalescing 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 operator. This will allow you to set a default value if null is returned. Stop. Cool. Any idea to work on a design pattern series? Thank you, Jay. Wow. A design pattern. Is this like Christ? Sorry, I'm just seeing all of these stupid spam messages. Let's get rid of them. So yes, I did start that. I have a few ideas. I have a few things. I did that on Twitch, but I never recorded it. Like I never did any VODs for it. So yeah, no, because I was doing things like the factory pattern, the command pattern, abstract pattern, the facade pattern. Yeah, I was doing loads, but I was doing it on Twitch. And at that time, I wasn't actually creating it as a series. I was just doing it. But yeah, no, that's a really good idea. Yeah, because there's loads of patterns. I'm assuming you're talking about object-oriented stuff, right? OOP, design patterns, architecture, software architecture, that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I would love to. I'd love to do that. I'm going to put that on down as a note. Bear with me a sec. I'm going to put that as a note. Give me a sec. Let me just move that over to here. I have a course notes, course suggestions section. Design patterns. Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Especially if there was like a project behind it. I would have to think of what the project would be to then give you like design patterns. But I mean, it could be a shopping cart. It could be something like that, like an invoicing system, maybe. I don't know. If you've got any ideas, let me know. But yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thank you. That's a great suggestion. I will do that next year. Or at least I will put that on my things to do next year. Whether it'll get done, soon, because I've got other plans that I want to do. I've got another course after this I want to do, and then after that, maybe should have some free time up in around spring. That would be ace. Okay, so adjust the items assignment to use the nullish coalescing operator. This will allow you to set a default value if null is returned. Okay. So we need to put that in. Tell you what, in the notes, I'm going to put your name down as well because of that very kind donation that I am going to sort something out for you. So let's do J Prakash. Okay, send me a message on Discord. So I've got your contact details, and I will get, whenever that happens, I'll send you a message, and I'll let you know. Send message on Discord when course is complete. So I'm just writing myself a note. Okay. So we need to do question mark, boom. There we go. Adjust the items variable assignment to use a nullish coalescing operator, and we should use that. To set a default value of blank array if the value is null. Okay, cool. All right, so then I need to say after this adjustment, rerun the tests. So make test. And all tests should pass. Woo! Yay! So, that's cool. Let's put that back. Right, let's run the test again just to make sure that I haven't messed anything up. Yeah, it's all good. Awesome! That is so cool. No worries, buddy. No worries. So I think we've sort of done that, haven't we? We need to do the last thing, which is alternating the colors. Let's get rid of that. Give me a bit more room to work with. Okay, so it's alternating colors. Let's just copy that. Okay, so there's a few things in here. We need to actually create a CSS class for these. So row hyphen, it was either going to be even or it's going to be odd. So yes, create two CSS classes that will handle the alternating row colors. The first, oops, I'll stop. The first one, I'll just do it as an example. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, CSS, and classes in. We should find where that is in assets, right? Assets. It's in public assets. There we go. Main.css. In public assets main.css. Okay, so in here we should have 2 colors, right? Somewhere. Somewhere. Row even, that's right at the bottom. There we go. There we go. Row even and row odd. Okay. Okay, so create 2 let's get some room again. Create 2 CSS classes, main in main, 2 CSS in main, blah blah blah, mains or CSS that will handle the alternating row colors. Okay, next thing we need to do is adjust the for each loop in dashboard.php to increment a counter all right, then we'll do it step by step. I think we'll do it step by step. So we pretty much need that. 1, 2, 3, PHP, pass that in. We don't need to worry about. So, okay, we need to talk about setting that first. So, adjust the for each loop to increment a counter. Okay, set or create a variable. Create the variable. Or set. No. Create a variable called counter above the for each loop and set its value to 0. Okay. Within the for each loop, increment the counter for each iteration, for each order item iteration. Cool. Right, so that's what we're going to do. So let's move that down to there. And that's, at this stage, is just like that. Cool. What's the next thing we need to do? Well, the next thing we need to do is to work out whether or not the counter, because this is going to increment each time, whether the counter can be divided by 2. If it's divisible by 2. And if it is, then we set it to even, and if it's not, then we set it to odd. So this is a ternary operator in here. So we're setting row class suffix as the variable. That's the variable name. We're assigning that to even or odd if this statement is true. So counter is divisible by 2. If it is, then it's even. If it's not, then it's odd. So that's if that is true, that happens. If that isn't true, then that happens. So I need to somehow explain that. Okay. All right. We need a variable. Okay. So no. Come on. Create a variable. Wow, I spelled a variable for the first time tonight, and it was I didn't have to do a spell check on it. Create a variable that will either be true. Will create a variable that will either have the value of even or odd if the value of counter is divisible by 2. So if you can divide it by 2. Create a variable that will either which will either be even or odd. Create a variable that will either be assigned the value of even or odd depending upon the value of counter. No. I'm overcomplicating this again, aren't I? So create a variable that will either be assigned the value of even or odd. Depending upon odd. Okay. This will be altered when this will be set to even when the counter is divisible by 2. Okay. If counter cannot be divided by 2, then have I just said create a variable? Yeah, create a variable called row class suffix, which will either be assigned the value of even or odd. This will be set which will either be assigned the value of even or odd. This will be set to even when the counter is divisible by 2. If the counter cannot be divided by 2, then the value of row class suffix will be odd. Cool. Okay. Right. So this check is performed like so, and we're going to just pass in that. But we're going to do it within an if block. So if even counter is even, else counter is odd. Okay. Okay, to simplify, In fact, what we should do is this. Okay, we should also say use the modulus assignment operator, sorry, which is a percentage symbol operator to check in the if statement. Okay, this check is performed like so. Okay, to simplify this, we can use a ternary statement like so. 1, 2, 3 PHP. Okay, so that. Okay, so actually what I need to do, we've done the whole row thing. I need to explain the fact that that is what that will be. So even and odd. So adjust the for each loop in the dashboard.php to increment a counter. Create a variable called counter above the for each loop and set its value to 0. Within the for each loop, increment the counter for each order item. Let's just do for each iteration. For each iteration. So there we go, like that. Create a variable called row class suffix, which will either be assigned the value of even or odd. This will be set to even when the counter is divisible by 2. If the counter cannot be divided by 2, then the value of row suffix will be odd. Okay, use the modulus operator in the if statement. This check is performed like so. Okay, so I can do it down here. Okay, the row class suffix will be used to will be concatenated. Again, a word I can't spell. Concatenated. Will be concatenated. Will be used. We use to create the CSS class name. Will be used to create the CSS class name, which will be assigned to the table row. Okay. Okay, so print the class name. Print the dynamic class name. To the table row. Okay, 1, 2, 3 PHP. Boom. All right. So now we want to do that. There we go. Okay, so your dashboard.php should now look like this. All right, so we're going to grab pretty much all of that, and I'll get rid of the bits that we don't need. So, whoop. So we don't need, I haven't, oh no, we have done that. That's changed to this. Yeah, so get username is now that at this stage. We haven't done any, I haven't discussed any of this yet. That's going in. We don't have the logout button yet, so that can get removed. And we do have the main. We have all of that. That's all in play. Yes, I think that will do. Right, let me just see what this looks like. Let me just close all in there. There we go. Right, so this is what the documentation will look. Okay, so I need to adjust. First things first, I need to adjust that. Lesson 8 hash, and it's, oh, you're gonna make me type it, aren't you? Is it lowercase? There we go. There we go. Right. Okay. So let's just get back into here. All right. So we'll deal with what you will learn in a minute. So get a user's order, display the username, display the order items, alternate the order item table row colors. So get a user's order. So let's go through this. To get a user's order, the get orders function needs to be called with a username. In this lesson, we will hard code the username, and in the future, and in a, that needs to be an A, and in a future lesson, full stop. Right. In a future lesson, this username will be dynamically set to the username of the logged in user. Okay, let's go back to this view. Okay, so to do this, add the following to the dashboard.php. Fine. Okay, each order will have a set of items. These order items are held in the items element of the order array. To get the order items, add the following to the dashboard.php. Good. Okay, display the username. To display the username, replace the hard-coded username in dashboard with the value of username like so. Good. Okay, replace the hard-coded, okay, display the order items, replace the hard-coded order items in the dashboard.php table with those from items. Each item will need its own row in the table. Create a for each loop in the T body that prints out 3 table cells that will hold the item's name, price, and date ordered. Yeah. All right. I should set that to HTML, not PHP. Run make test, and you should get the following error. All right, this error is due to the missing offset items in the variable items. We know that this is an array, however, it technically could be null as the user may, that should be may not exist, not may exist. Down here. This error is due to a missing offset in the items. We know that this is an array, however, it technically could be null as the user may not exist or the user may not have any orders. Okay, cool. Okay, to fix this, we need to set a default value for items, which will default to an empty array. Adjust the items variable assignment to use the nullish coalescing operator to set a blank array if the value is null. So items, order items, null coalescing array. After this adjustment, rerun the tests, make tests, and all tests should pass. Let's just adjust that a little bit because that's not good English. After this adjustment, rerun make tests, full stop. Right, all tests should now pass. Alright, so alternate the order item table row colors. So create two CSS classes in public assets main.css that will handle the alternating row colors. Alright, adjust the for each loop in dashboard.php to increment a counter. Create a variable called counter above the for each loop and set its, set its initial value. Because the changes, we're down here, aren't we? Create a variable, blah blah blah, and set its initial value to 0. Okay. Within the for each loop, increment the count, increment counter for every iteration. Increment the value of counter for every iteration. Good. Next. Okay, to create a variable called create a variable called row class suffix, which will either be a hang on a minute, have I gone too far? No, I haven't. Okay. Create a variable called row class suffix, which will either be assigned the value of even or odd. This will be set to even when the counter is divisible by 2. If counter cannot be divided by 2, then the value of row class suffix will be odd. Use the modulus, which is the percentage sign operator, in the if statement. This check is performed like so. So counter divided by 2, if that's true, then it's even, else it's odd. To simplify this, we can use a ternary statement like so. The row class suffix will be used to create a CSS class name. Don't need the name. No, we do need the name. Class name, which will be used to create, class name, which will be assigned to the table row. Print the dynamic class name to the table row. So I need to talk about concatenation. Your dashboard should now look like this. Woo! Okay, so there's a couple of changes I want to do. First of all, I want to change that to be HTML. And that to be HTML. And that's fine. That's fine. That's CSS. Change that to be HTML. No, change that to be PHP. That's good. I mean, maybe technically that is PHP, right? So, yeah. That'll be why. That's better. Okay, so I want to talk about concatenation. So to simplify this, we will use a ternary statement. The row class will be used to create the CSS class name. Will be used to concatenate. Will be concatenated with the string row hyphen to create with the variable to the string. It's a string, Pete. To create the CSS class name, to create a CSS class name, which will be assigned to the table row. Okay. Print the dynamic class name to the table row like so. Cool. So, like so. So, let's now update this. So what will be learnt? we have learnt, this isn't in any order, null coalescing, oh great. The nullish coalescing operator. We have learnt for each loops. We have learnt, that's the null coalescing operator. Concatenation, which I cannot spell to save my life. There we go. That's called, oh, ternary statements as well. Yes, I think that's cool. Oh yes, and modulus. Modulus statements. Modulus operator. The modulus operator. Cool. I don't think I need to put for each loops in there because I've done that before. Concatenation of strings. Sweet. So I think that is pretty much there for lesson 8. Woo! Right, I think that's good. I'm going to wrap it up there, and the next Tuesday we'll be moving on to the next lesson, I think, if I haven't done it already in time. But yeah, thank you ever so much for your suggestions, Jay. I really appreciate it. Thank you also for the kind donation there. And I hope that helps answering your question, MS, regarding the echoing things out or printing things out to, or linking documents, HTML documents. What was the question? How do you link HTML with a PHP document? Yes, so you can print variable values out to PHP, and you can go inside PHP and in HTML, like I've done there. Thank you ever so much. Happy coding, everybody. Have a great Christmas. That's the word I'm trying to look for. Have a great Christmas if I don't speak to you soon. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Take care. Speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye. Happy coding.